3 years ago, I began a bipartisan effort to lower prescription drug costs. And that isn't just a Chuck Grassley issue, that's a bipartisan issue. Following first Finance Committee hearings that I chaired, bipartisan negotiations, and a bill markup, I introduced with the senior senator from Oregon a bill that we call Grassley-Wyden, but I don't care if it's called Wyden-Grassley, but the point is the Prescription Drug Pricing Reduction Act will go a long ways to stop the massive increase we have in drug prices. We passed this bill out of the Finance Committee on a bipartisan vote of 19-9. I have never stopped working to advance bipartisan, negotiated, and balanced drug pricing bill. Drug prices are rising. More Americans are having a harder time paying these high costs for prescription drugs. AARP says brand name drugs that seniors use are going up more than twice the rate of inflation. New data from another source, the National Health Review survey, estimates 3 5/10 million seniors had difficulty affording their medication. I hear stories about rising drug costs all the time at my 99 county meetings, and we have a Q&A at every one of those meetings so people can bring up any subject they want to bring up. They set the agenda, and always prescription drug pricing is on that agenda because the people probably asking the questions, what are we going to do about prescription drug pricings, are probably the very same ones that are being hit by these high prices, and they notice the big increase in prices from year to year. As an example, Iowans tell me about the rising cost of their insulin, or how they worry about paying for out-of-pocket costs in the donut hole. No matter how you look at it, drug costs are going up and Americans are paying more. For 12 months, President Biden and the Democrat majority has focused on a partisan, reckless tax and spending spree, and they have not made any progress in passing drug pricing reform as part of their partisan proposal. I compliment them for trying to do something about drug pricing, but it hasn't happened yet. And the way you get things done in the United States Senate is by doing it in a bipartisan way. By every public account, the talks in the other party on their agenda have stalled. In fact, as best evidence of this, just this very day, the senior senator from West Virginia said that the Democrat bill is this is his word, dead. So, instead of spending more time on bills that do not have votes, we could pass a bipartisan legislation to lower drug costs this very day. It would have a meaningful impact on lowering prescription drug costs. Let's not wait another minute. So the Grassley-Wyden bill, or the Wyden-Grassley bill, remains our best chance to lower prescription drug costs in a bipartisan manner. And I urge my colleagues to work with me to pass this bill. And I'll give you just some examples, probably only a half a dozen out of 27 major pieces it has in it. Number one, it caps out-of-pocket costs at $3,100. Now, I'll have to give it to the Democrat proposal. They have reduced that down to $2,000. I'm willing to negotiate $3,100 or $2,000. Secondly, it eliminates the donut hole. Third, it caps rising drug prices in Medicare at inflation price index. 4, the bill ends uncapped taxpayer-funded subsidies for big pharma. 5, it brings more sunshine, more competition, and more oversight to how big pharma prices drugs in the first place. Lastly, out of 2,700 sections in this bill, I want to say it saves $72 billion for seniors and $95 billion for taxpayers. In addition to this bill, I have 4 prescription drug bills that have passed Judiciary Committee with unanimous support. So obviously all 4 of those are bipartisan bills. These 4 bills bring more competition, let more affordable drugs come to the market, and end anti-competitive behavior by big pharma. I urge my colleagues to work with me to pass bipartisan drug pricing reform today.